Hello, my name is Juan Matos, and I'm an artist and filmmaker based in Miami, Florida. My work primarily investigates photography, video, and performance, but my favorite really is when these three overlap and come together. One of the first things that I think about when I think about photography is just this really basic question of why. Like why are we taking photos? What for? Who for? And it wasn't until later on when I really started taking my own photos and investing in photography equipment that I really started to understand the relationship that I had to the camera and the relationship that my family had to the camera. And that was that my parents were obsessively documenting their life in the United States and sending these documents as evidence back to family and friends in Cuba, as exactly that, as evidence of this new life or this new space. And that's when it became evident to me that photography is a tool to capture and hold on to history in the most basic sense. When I first started studying photography and cinema, a book that I read that really stuck with me was Camera Lucida by Roland Barthes. And in there he kind of talks about the photograph as a document of life and inherently a document of death. And this idea was really interesting to me as kind of like the thing that's in the photograph is also evidence of what's absent in the photograph. And as I started taking more portraiture, I realized exactly that, is that the photo that's being captured, the portrait that's being captured is not just a moment in time. It's capturing centuries of survival, really, of culture, that all kind of encapsulates into this one person or a few people that are in the photo. So the photography is a really political tool because it is used as evidence, of course, for these beautiful moments, but it's also used as evidence for surveillance, for surveilling specific groups of people, and it's also used as this political tool of what's absent in the photograph, as who's not being recorded, who's not being documented, who's being rewritten and erased from history. I'm not really the kind of photographer who takes my camera around with me everywhere. I'm not interested in capturing every single moment all the time. But when I do take my camera out with me, it's because I'm looking for something really specific. I'm with someone or going somewhere that I consider to be really special, and I really need the evidence of this moment. I need to remember this moment in some way or document this moment in some way, because it's either historically, I think, important or personally important. But being in quarantine has been really funny because I've been thinking about art a lot, but I haven't been interested in making it at all. I'm kind of investigating around it. I'm doing a lot of reading and a lot of writing, but the actual production of art, and especially photography and film, that kind of it relies really heavily on subject. I feel kind of distant from it right now, and I don't feel a particular interest in exploring it. And I think being inside all the time is really the source of that feeling.